Hey guys, Mr. King here. Today we are going to be talking about reduce, reuse, and recycle. And we've been talking about the ways that humans impact the environment, and we've been talking about air pollution and land pollution and water pollution and how we have a negative effect on all that. Today we're going to talk about how we can have a positive effect on the environment and the steps you can take to help reduce your impact on the environment. So we create a lot of solid waste, and solid waste by definition is whatever people throw away that is in solid or near solid form. And it's most of your trash. Most of your liquids you guys end up dumping down the drain. Those liquids go to a water treatment plant. They're able to cleanse that water and return it back into the water system. But for solid waste, that stuff you can't dump down the drain. That's the stuff you end up putting in your garbage can, and then you take it out to the curb on whatever day of the week your garbage gets picked up, and then they take it to the landfill. And as you guys saw, with landfills, that collects a lot of trash, and most of the time that'll decompose down and they bury it in dirt and it's okay. But if you put something that is toxic or some hazardous waste materials in there, that can be really bad for the environment. So most of the stuff that we make as trash is considered to be solid waste. So where does all this solid waste come from? Most waste is produced when coal, oil, and other natural resources are taken from the ground. And so when you go down and you dig into the ground, you're producing a lot of waste because you're making that piece of land unusable. When you dig down, you destroy the soil, you destroy the different types of organisms that are living in there, you destroy the plants and the trees. And so that creates a lot of solid waste. In other words, it's stuff you cannot use. And here's a video about how coal is harvested. So when they go to get coal out of a mine, they have to dig down in the ground. They have a lot of different tools that they're using, and they pull that coal, almost it looks like in the video, off a wall. But remember, that coal has been deposited for millions of years, and it's been the result of dead organisms piling up and being compressed, and compressed so much over time that it transitions into coal. So take a look here.
What you're going to see is the longwall shearing machine is going to come by here, and it's going to take about a 40-inch cut of coal off of this space.
So they obviously have to find the spot where coal is existing. And then once they find coal deposits that have been created over time and kind of built up,
Behind that shear,
then they can drill
once
down.
he comes by, will be a 40-inch void in front of the face conveyor. The hydraulic roof supports will drop from the roof, pull forward, and set. Once they've all done that, then the same shields push the face conveyor over tight to the coal seam. Now it's ready for the shear to come back through and make another pass. The face conveyor is twin 48mm chains connected with flight bars, and that transports the coal all the way to the head gate, dumps it into the stage loader, makes a 90-degree turn, runs it through a crushing machine, and dumps it onto the conveyor belt. And then from there it proceeds out of the coal mine. The longwall will make about 8 to 9 passes in the course of a shift, and that's close to 10,000 clean tons per shift off of each longwall.
So they're drilling down and they're finding where the coal exists, and then once they find where the coal exists, they have to shear it from the wall and then they transport it out. But you can imagine what's left after they remove the coal. It's a ton of waste in that area. It's unusable. There's not any particular use for it after you've harvested the coal out of the area. Now you think of all the coal mines that exist throughout the world in the United States and all the places where they've been to find the coal, and that's a lot of waste. That's a lot of different land that's been pulled up. So other kinds of waste. Most of the waste from homeschool and business is paper and cardboard products. When you think about the type of waste we make here at school, every day at the end of the day the janitors come around and they empty the trash cans, and majority of the waste are different paper products that people have thrown out. We have recycle bins that are also in the rooms that some of you guys use on a daily basis, but some people still throw the paper in the garbage, even though the recycle bins just a couple more feet away. People are just used to throwing things in the garbage. And so here's the breakdown of trash thrown away in billions of pounds. And you can see in comparison, paper well outweighs the other ones compared to bottles and jars and cans. Paper is by far the biggest creator of trash. And that makes sense when I look in our trash bin at the end of the day. It's mostly paper products. It's not like there's a whole lot of food in there, bottles or anything like that. We're just creating a lot of waste with paper. And every time we have you guys clean out your binders, I'll say, you know, if it's white paper, don't throw it in the trash. Make sure that gets in the recycle bin. And if everyone does that, that really helps. That really cuts down on our need to chop down any more trees and create new waste. And once again, just showing this idea that paper just kind of trumps everything else. Paper, 34.2%. The next biggest waste product would be yard trimmings, and that would be included with the different types of land that people dig up when they're mining. So there's quite a big disparity between 34.2 and 13.1. That's a big gap. So paper is the king. So if we can find a way to reduce that, then we can really help the environment. So by using less paper, by using the front and back side of a paper, when you're done with it, make sure you recycle, don't throw it in the trash. If possible, teachers are transitioning now to having different quizzes on laptops and things like that to kind of help. So there's a lot of different things you can do to help cut down on that the most contribution of waste, which is paper. So the things that you guys can do to really help, we got the 3 R's. Reduce means to cut down on the amount you use. And that is the best thing you can do. You can just not use an item. So for example, instead of using paper, I will give you guys a quiz on the laptop, and those results will be sent to me. We didn't have to kill any trees. We didn't have to use any paper. That's the best one of the 3 R's. The second best would be to reuse. So let's say I give you guys a quiz, and you guys turn it back to me, I grade it, then I could pass it back to you and you could use the backside to do something else. Maybe you draw a picture of the environment with human pollution or something like that. So we use it again. And then the last one would be to recycle. And out of the 3 R's, recycle is kind of the worst because recycle means you're giving it back. You're done with it. So if you're recycling, hopefully you've already reused it a bunch. And then when you recycle it, you change the material into another form. So when I recycle those papers, that's going to be recycled into another form of paper. Or when you guys recycle your cans, they're going to be changed into another form. They'll use that aluminum, but it might not necessarily be for a can. It could be for something else made out of aluminum. So our 3 R's, reduce, reuse, recycle. And here's a little song to help you guys remember.
It's a magic number. Yes, it is. It's a magic number. Because 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 6 is 18. And the 18th letter in the alphabet is R. Yeah. We got 3 R's we're gonna talk about today. We gotta learn to reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Well, if you're going to the market to buy some juice, you gotta bring your own bags and you learn to reduce your waste. We gotta learn to reduce. And if your brother or your sister's got some cool clothes, you could try them on before you buy some more of those. Reuse. We gotta learn to reuse. And if the first 2 R's don't work out, and if you gotta make some trash, well, don't throw it out. Recycle. We gotta learn to recycle. We gotta learn to reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Because 3, it's a magic number. Yes, it is. It's a magic number. 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 33, 30, 27, 24, 21, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, and 3. It's a magic number.
Alright guys, so some tips for you, some things you can do, and there's 120 of you, and if all you guys do the small things to help out, if you can imagine if you all decided to take shorter showers, if you all decided that maybe instead of watching TV you'll go outside and play, that would be a huge difference for the environment, and you guys could be responsible for that. And so it's your earth, it's your world, and you've really got to take care of it because we only get one of them. So think about what you can do to help the environment. Think about your impact, and a lot of small changes can make a big difference. All right, guys, have a great night. Make sure you don't forget the quiz on the back, write some good questions, and I will see you tomorrow.